guys, and welcome back to my channel. So today, probably guessing by the title, we're going to be talking about the return to races. This is such an exciting time, but also still quite a weird transition into what we're now calling the new normal. So as it stands, it's the end of August, and recently both James and I have taken part in our first race. Now James isn't here because he's busy with work. It's August, it's the Eat Out to Help Out scheme, so I'm gonna have to film this one on my own, but I'm just wanted to go through a little more about how as runners we felt safe leading up to races, as it is quite a difficult time for some people to sort of transition back into sort of this new world that we're coming into. So let's talk about James's race. James's was a 5k race. It was held on a Friday night. It was around a local area called Willen Lake, which is quite a popular destination. However, the race organisers had everything signed off by EA and everything was basically just compliant, and it felt safe, you know. Of an evening, there's not as many people around on a Friday night, and they weren't allowed to encourage spectators to come down and watch. I was a marshal, so I got to see some of the action, which was great. And the whole concept is that there were 28 races which got set off every 5 minutes, and there were 10 runners per wave. So essentially, you know, you weren't in big groups of people. Also, they had to sign like a disclaimer before, and James said that on the form that you as a participant would not be so close to someone for a certain period of time. So I think it was like 10 or 15 minutes. So basically you had then your own, I guess, due diligence or whatever the word is, but basically you then took that upon you to say that you were not going to run next really close to someone for a lengthy period of time. So, you know, you had to keep your distance. The route was devised so that it would allow for that it wasn't all too narrow. And if I'm being honest, it went amazingly. Like, the feedback from all the runners were really good. For me as a marshal, you know, I got to see lots of like races come through over sort of like a 2.5 hour period, and James had like a good time, if you can call it 5k effort a good time. So yeah, that was a really good return. The race was called the MK 5000 PB Special. I think that's what they called it, but that's the guys that normally put on a 5k track race over, I think it's normally like sort of May, June or July time. So they've obviously put this on just to try and accommodate everything going on at this time. So yeah, really like well done to those guys, and they've potentially, I'm going to try and get them onto my podcast, and they're potentially talking about maybe launching another event soon if the demand is there. So that's super cool. So let's move on to the Ultra 5k, because I got a bit of footage about this. So the Ultra 5k is an event that was meant to take place, I think, back in maybe July, and they pushed back to August. If I'm being honest, I didn't think it was going to happen just because of all the rules still, so I didn't really train for it. Then we got the go-ahead that, yeah, cool, we're going ahead, and I was like, whoa, okay, I haven't done any training. So I did work myself up a little bit before because I didn't feel prepared already. However, amazing. The guys were really good. So a few weeks before, you got sent a form, like a waiver, and you basically just had to confirm whether you'd had symptoms recently, if you have had COVID already, and just a few different things like that, sort of like for medical purposes. You then had to put your time, what you expected your finish time to be. Now it's a 5k race, and you do 5k on the hour, every hour, for either 3 or 5 hours. Most people took part in the 5 hour race. So yeah, you had all the communication before. They were really good at putting loads of stuff on Facebook about what they were going to do before the event. So, you know, it kept the buzz there and it got the excitement. They capped people at about 100 and something, 120 maybe. Between 100 and 120, I think it was, that were there on the day. So
hello. How are you?
As you turn up, you had to re-sign your form. You then got given a bib and a buff, and then you got your temperature taken.
Sign it wherever, just to say that everything's as was, and I'll just take your temperature. That's fine, thank you.
You then walked through to sort of like the runners area, and there they contained everyone, and basically there was yellow dots on the floor to try and encourage social distancing from, you know, from everyone else. Were in their groups, so they socially distanced within their groups, but some people sort of were free to sit there on their own if that's what they wanted. The briefing was done there within this runners area, and then there's a separate area for any spectators, sort of like family, that wanted to come down and watch, but they had to be kept separate to the runners.
Can you hear us okay? Yeah. Brilliant. I'd say at this point normally gather round, let's get close, but hey, let's not. So as long as you hear me, we'll carry on then. Few people still wandering up, but we best crack on. We can't start late. So welcome to the 4th ever in the world Ultra 5K.
Woo!
What a different year. It's been fun getting this run together. Well, it's been hard, but great support from Box End Park, who gave us permission to put it on. And it's great to see you all here. Well done, and thank you very much for supporting us, and we hope you like your snoods. We've got to have a picture of them at some point later on, definitely. So for those of you who haven't done it before, the course, if you've not run round Boxing before, is flat as a pancake for, hang on, let me finish. It's flat as a pancake for about 2 kilometres. And then it goes mad. It goes up and down and round. There's lots of camber. And this year, because it's been so hot, we've had a lot of rain, but of course nobody's been running around it. So the course is a little bit trickier underfoot than normal. It's not slippy, it's fine with your normal running shoes, but just be aware that there's a few divots and a few troughs, a few tram lines, so just take a bit of extra care. So especially, you know, if you intend to do every race in under 19 minutes like the record holder, just keep your eye on your feet.
Then they had a stall for like food and drink. You know, as part of the race entry, you normally get all of this included, but obviously within this, what they did is they had it all laid out on the table from a distance. You walked up, you picked what you wanted, if you wanted anything, and the girls behind the desk, they just moved over to a separate area. You collected it, you took it, they stepped away, you took it from them, and then they hand sanitized every time I watched them, and they were just super good. The next thing that was put into place was that the start lines. This is what one thing race organisers are struggling to overcome, is the amount of people, I guess, that are there. So because obviously there was only 100 only, but you know, still a lot of people to try and manage to get over a start line. Now the race organisers were keen still to get people over on the hour over the start line, but what they did do is there was numbers on the floor, so related to your bib there was numbers on the floor, and you then started on that number, and they were letting people go in threes every 5 to 10 seconds. So this is the starting area, and so we're going to go all the way back there. You can see, I don't know if you can see on the ground, but they've got numbers based on your bibs on where you start. There we go. So off you went. So it just basically didn't encourage the bunching of people at the start. So naturally, you, like they said to us, you can overtake if needs be, but obviously be sensible, be safe. And you know, if I felt that I was never ever sitting behind someone, and if I ever felt like I was coming up behind someone, you know, most times they can hear you anyways, and most people were saying like, do you want to overtake? Then you'd do that. And it was, you know what, I've just felt as an event they did so well. You know, the guys are awesome, the atmosphere was electric, and it just felt so good to be back at a race again. And they went above and beyond to try and get that on. You know, for them it's not about profit or anything like that, it was just about to get the event on, up and running, and get people racing again, and it just felt so good. Literally just finished that one in about 23.5 minutes, and I said I wasn't going out that fast today. Good start, but the start line was really well organised in the sense that, you know, they were just letting off 3 people at a time. You know, naturally you're going to overtake, but just meant that you weren't too close to people for a prolonged period of time. And yeah, 1 down. I wish that was only one of them. And then we've got 4 more to go. But yeah, all good fun, all good fun. So we'll just see. I probably went off a bit too fast. That was faster than what I wanted. But naturally when you start racing again, that's how it goes. So yeah, I'll check in with you in a bit. Lap 1 done. How was it, everyone? Tough. Yeah, it's tough as ever. So in between laps, changing t-shirts just to keep nice and fresh. It's warm out there, tough underfoot, but good fun, guys. Yes, no? Good fun. Woohoo!
We're racing again!
Yeah, racing's back. Yay! On the hour, every hour. Right, lap 3 done. It's getting tough now.
Brilliant. So done. Thank you very much of Ultra 5K. Katie! First. Lady. Drink. Thank you very much. Well done. Wow.
She's won again. Yeah. Pow.
Yeah, me and Kate as well. Yeah.
It's made me feel a lot more confident going forward with turning up to races and feeling safe. You know, if you're not feeling comfortable yet, then don't worry, but race organisers are doing the best that they can to try and sort of get events up and going again. So we may see some smaller events, or, you know, race organisers putting on alternative events to their usual races in the calendar, but from speaking to various race organisers and companies, what they are trying to do is trying to get on something that is effective and safe and that works for everyone. And I think the biggest barrier that some race organisers are having are with local authorities. And obviously it's down to perception, because there still is a grey area around whether people are perceiving it to be acceptable to put it on, and also dependent on the location of where the race is, has got to be somewhere that is not gonna. So some events that say take part by the coast or in big parks, they're not able to go ahead because there's going to be normally an influx of other people around in that area too. So it's just trying to eliminate as many people as come into contact as possible. But, you know, I hope that this can give you a bit of an insight into what some race organisers are doing, and hopefully brings back a successful, you know, race calendar for the later part of the year, and then hopefully moves us forward and drives forward into 2021. So yeah, I hope that this has been sort of useful and insightful, and gives some of you the confidence if you are turning up to a race soon on what some of the race organisers are doing. So let me know if you've taken part in an event yet. Leave a comment down below. Do you have anything upcoming? Just yeah, let me know, and I look forward to seeing some other races taking place soon. So thanks for checking in, and I'll catch up with you all soon. Take care. Bye.